The Mississippi High School Activities Association now mandates the use of wet bulb globe temperature readings to determine the safety of outdoor practice. News 25's Ansley Brent breaks down the new equipment while asking coaches along the Gulf Coast how this impacts their summer plans.
The biggest thing you got to compete against right now is the heat. And competing against the heat and competing against the mentality of when you have to pull your helmets off or your shoulder pads off, how can you keep mentally in the game? How can you keep mentally in the practice? And those are things that we're really working on right now.
With it being one of the hottest summers in recent memory, MHSAA has implemented a new system called the wet bulb globe temperature.
Everything the state's done, when it first came out, first it was a true heat index. Now it's more of a wet bulb temperature, global temperature is what they call it. So when they went back to that, it kind of made it a little easier to go by, because when you talk about heat index, it could be hotter 5 miles down the road than it is here, but the wet bulb's a little bit different. So, that's kind of helped out a little bit, The whole thing at the end of the day is just making sure kids are safe.
The metrics used by teams are calculated with temperature, humidity, wind, and sunlight, all factoring together and shown on an app for coaches during practices. With the ready availability of the free apps for smartphones that gives temperatures and WBGT measures, this eliminates the need for schools to purchase equipment specifically for making these readings. Coach High continued to say that it's going to be tough to navigate, but it's nothing that coaching staffs along the Gulf Coast can't handle.
There's going to be challenges to it, but, in this profession, we got guys that they're known to adapt and overcome all across the coast. Like I said, some of the best coaches I've ever been around on the Gulf Coast.
We're going to do the same things we've always done. We're going to give them plenty of water breaks. We got girls that will be out in practice with us. They're our managers, and they're going to have water, and those guys know they can get water anytime they want it. We'll have the cold tubs ready if we need to put somebody in it, or they want to get into it after practice. And, we're just going to adjust if it's 105.
It's kind of where I'm at right now is we're going to work out fourth block. We're going to plan on going out every day to start practice just like we normally will. If it hits that point and we have to adapt, we'll adapt. We'll bring them back up if we miss 2 consecutive days. Now, obviously, whenever the season starts and we face off versus Van Cleve week 1, if it's Tuesday and it's 105, yeah, we'll have to come back up at night or just feed them, hang them out, let them stay around, do film, do weights. You don't have to be on the football field to get better at football. And that's the big thing.
After listing the changes and ways his team will have to adapt, Coach Smith says it'll all be worth it because it has the athlete's best interest at heart.
I'm not aggravated about it. I mean, it's a safety precaution. Last thing you want as a coach, I cannot imagine what some coach has gone through with a kid falling out on the field like that. And it's humbling.
With WXXV 25, I'm Ansley Brent.